Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's webinar on how to comply with ISO 22000 in food and beverage industry with QDMS and Acumatica ERP system. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I am the Managing Director of Bimser International. Before I introduce my team members, our panelists today, I would like to remind you that we have a YouTube channel. When you go to YouTube, you can search for Bimser International, and when you access our YouTube channel, you'll have a playlist over there, and when you click, you can see our webinar recordings in addition to our product recordings available in our YouTube channel. So this is a resource that you can visit anytime you like. You can also share with your team members, your colleagues, you can invite them, and we'll record today's webinar as well, and we'll make it available on our YouTube channel. And we like to also invite you to our Eventbrite page. You can register for our coming webinar sessions. For example, we'll be talking about how to manage customer complaints digitally for compliance purposes on QDMS and Acumatica next week. And following weeks, we'll be talking about how to manage base management operations, also supply audits and evaluations in a digital environment with QDMS and Acumatica ERP system. We have many more subjects to cover in coming weeks after July 6th in association with quality and compliance management. And we are looking forward to seeing you in our coming webinar sessions. Please visit our Eventbrite page and register to those webinars that you're interested. Okay, great. So let me introduce our team members, our panelists today. We have today Alex Kvartirov is with us from Emerald Consulting. He'll be addressing fundamentals of ISO 22000. Also, my colleagues are online, Canvat from our pre-sales software engineering team and Furkan Bas from our QDMS product team. He's our QDMS product manager. So altogether, we'll be addressing how to comply with ISO 22000 in food and beverage industry with QDMS and Acumatica. As we always do, I like to start with introductions as to Bimser International, who we are and what we do, and then we'll jump into ISO 22000 fundamentals, and we'll show you how you can comply with ISO 22000 digitally with QDMS and Acumatica in a paperless work environment. As Bimser International, we are an enterprise software maker since 1998. We help companies simplify their processes and help companies adopt digital transformation. We are very active in various business communities. One of them is ASQ, that's American Society for Quality. We are very close to ASQ. It's because quality management digitally is one of our expertise. So we are closely following updates about quality management systems, any changes, any updates. We follow closely, and we basically adapt our digital quality management software products according to updates coming from ASQ and other sources and authorities. I like to also mention that we have an internship program called University of Bimser International. We help university students learn about how to do pre-sales and software engineering with the help of our internship program. As a company, actually, we are a group of companies. And as you see on the map, we are also active, in addition to North America, we are also active in Europe. So as a group, we are about 200 people. We are a growing organization. Speaking of certifications, today we'll be talking about ISO 22000. As for Bimser International, we are ISO 9001 certified and ISO 27001 certified. So we have policies, procedures, and SOPs in place to guarantee that every single time that we deploy our products, we always look for highest quality of outcome, basically. So we follow our policies, procedures, and we always have corrective actions in place to make sure we have continuous improvement in place. We are an Acumatica independent software vendor. We are a Microsoft Gold partner. We are also a certified SAP vendor, and we are MyoB ISV partner as well. So we are very active in various ERP ecosystems. In addition to these, we are also active in Sage as well as Oracle and NetSuite ERP systems as well. So that is an important information that I like to share with you. Speaking of Acumatica, we'll be focusing on Acumatica and QDMS related activities. We are very close Acumatica ecosystem. We have a very good relationship with WARs, as well as ISVs and Acumatica management. We have been also sponsoring various Acumatica events. Acumatica Summit is one of them. Also, Acumatica Summit in South Africa, in Asia. We have been also supporting them and sponsoring as well. So that is, it's important for us to share that we are very close to Acumatica ecosystem, and we are looking forward to improve and enhance our relationship with Acumatica ecosystem members, partners, and ISVs, as well as VARs. In Acumatica ecosystem, we have 3 products available, certified. We have QDMS, that's our quality, risk, audit, and compliance management software. That's Acumatica certified. Also, we have BIM as an asset maintenance, facility feed, and energy management software. That is also Acumatica certified solution. And finally, we have EBA contract management solution for Acumatica that helps companies manage their contracts in a digital environment with no need of paper. Recently, we have also made QDMS available in the same screens of Acumatica. So when you are using QDMS, you have a chance to manage your quality management system within the same environment of Acumatica ERP system to make things easier for you to access both systems together and for you to use both systems together. And let's remember, QDMS is a certified Acumatica solution, so that is already integrated with Acumatica and ready to help you manage your quality management systems in a digital environment in association with Acumatica together. When we look at our product range as a whole, since 1998, we have actually developed these 4 products. EBA is our enterprise content management platform. It has a powerful workflow engine supported by document, record, and capture modules. We have BIM as an asset maintenance, fleet, and energy management software. It helps companies manage their equipment, machinery, buildings, facilities, fleet, and so on, as for improving lifetime value of assets, as well as managing maintenance operations, as in periodic, preventive, and predictive maintenance. We have QDMS. We'll talk more in QDMS today. That's our quality, risk, audit, and compliance management software. It helps companies comply with many different quality management systems. ISO 22000 in food and beverage industry is one of them, and we'll show more information in a minute. And finally, we have Ensemble as our business process modeling, performance management, and balance scorecard management software. I also need to mention that EBA contract management solution that we have available in Acumatica ecosystem that's been built on EBA's platform, simply with the help of workflow engine and document and records management capabilities of EBA. That's our electronic business automation platform. When we look at what we have done since 1998, by the end of last year, we have actually deployed many projects. For example, we have deployed QDMS more than 1,000 times. We have more than 1,000 customers when you look at this slide. That also translates to number of professional users. We have more than 1 million professional users of QDMS available. As for EBA, for example, we have more than 500 corporate customers. There are right now more than 50,000 business processes automated and running on EBA. We have more than 1.5 million professional users of EBA available. As for BIM, we have more than 400 corporate customers. We have also more than 50 million assets being managed by our customers on our system called BIM. And more to come, of course. These numbers are by the end of last year. These numbers are increasing every single month, and we are very excited about it. We are looking forward to have more and more projects and help companies adapt digital transformation. We have many repeatable references available. When you look at these slides, I just summarize some of them. We work with 3M, we work with Bridgestone, Veronis, and Alliance. Unilever is one of our customers. United Nations is using also one of our products as well. We have Ford, we have Polaris as some of our customers. International Paper is also using our products as well. So as you see, we have experience in many different industries, and especially we'll be focusing more about quality management and ISO, specifically ISO 22000 today. And we'll also share our experience, what we have been learning, what we have been observing and how actually one can adopt ISO 22000 digitally with no need of paper. Okay, great. So what I like to do is I like to invite Alex Quattro to our virtual stage. And Alex will be addressing fundamentals of ISO 22000. Alex, you ready?
Yes. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Kevin, for inviting me for this presentation. What I'd like to talk about today is the fundamentals of ISO 22000, and specifically the latest version, which is 2018, which specifically deals with the food safety management system, which is really applicable to any organization in the food chain. So before we get into and learn how it can support all the requirements of ISO, I just want to give a very, very top level overview of ISO 22000. Okay, so next slide, please. So a little bit of about AmRest Consulting. I'm the sole proprietor of AmRest Consulting, and I'm a certified ISO 9001-2015 lead auditor. Now, the ARC was established in 2015 after I had a extensive career as a project manager in a large aerospace company, which was certified to the AS 9100 quality standard. And today I provide consulting services for businesses and organizations that are trying to achieve and as well maintain ISO certification. Now, back almost 2 years ago, I came across Bimser International and found that they have a really terrific set of tools to support any ISO process. So I became a Bimser solution partner, and I find that the Bimser tools really provide a lot of help in managing all of the requirements of ISO. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so what is ISO 22000, and specifically the latest version of which was released in 2018? So ISO 2000 is really intended for all of the food chain to identify any food risks and improve performance as it relates to food safety. Now, it does it by establishing a framework. And this framework is a basically food safety management system, which is created to address all the food safety issues. And the food safety management system is really kind of equivalent to the quality management system, which is required in ISO 9001. So again, same kind of functionality, but again, for the ISO 22000, that's specifically intended for the food industry. And it applies to the entire food chain, as I mentioned before. It affects the feed producers, the animal food producers, the producers of the food ingredients, the food items, the food manufacturers, the food service providers, catering services, food logistics, food storage, and also the equipment suppliers for the food industry, for the packaging suppliers, and for the industry that produces the animal food and other food contact materials. So it really covers the entire scope of the food chain. Okay, next slide, please. Now, as I mentioned before, ISO 22000 is a member really of the ISO family, and obviously ISO 9001 is kind of the overall ISO requirement that is really intended for any type of manufacturing or service organization. And there are a lot of similarities with ISO 9000. And here is basically a list of what is equivalent, namely the context of the organization, how the documentation is controlled and managed, addressing the risk and opportunities, planning and setting objectives for your quality system. An important part of any ISO requirement is improvements, continuous improvements, as well as how do you deal and handle corrective action. Management reviews and internal audits, that's also a very important aspect of ISO. And then obviously providing, the required training for your employees, internal communication, and making sure that everybody's aware of the requirements of the ISO policy. So next slide, please. Okay, the very important aspect of ISO, this was addressed in my previous presentations on ISO 9001, is the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, which was developed by quality guru Deming. And basically, it's a loop that you continuously stay in it. And the elements of this loop is really the planning, the doing, the actual operation, the checking, and then to act and to make improvements. And then you go back to replanning, and you just continuously in that loop. And the various sections or elements of ISO, and this is identical to most of the other ISOs, are listed on the right-hand side of the screen, namely clauses 4 through 10. Okay, the first 3 clauses deal basically with an introduction, definition, and so on, but the meat of the ISO requirement is in the clauses 4 through 10. And the requirements here are shown on the diagram, and I want to specifically focus on the operational planning and control part. And as you can see, all of it really deals with food safety, all aspects of food safety. And if you look at some of the requirements for that is, first you have the PRPs. Now what the PRP stands for is prerequisite programs. And that relies on another ISO 22002, which has a series of standards basically to deal with food manufacturing, catering, farming, food packaging, feed and animal production, and transport and storage. So all of those, depending on which part of the food chain you're in, you then rely on those PRPs. And then if you again look at some of the requirements in the plan section, it's obviously doing a traceability, having a traceability system, hazard analysis, and how do you control the validation of the control measure. And then when you go into the do phase, then you now perform the implementation of your plan and also perform the control and monitoring measures. So that this now feeds into the check part of your cycle, where you now verify what you have done, and then you look at any discrepancies or areas of improvement, and now you act on doing the improvement or modification to your process. So again, the important part of it is everything that deals with food safety. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so what is the advantages of, I think, yes, the advantages of having or being certified to ISO 22000? Well, obviously, since you're dealing with food safety and everybody needs food to survive, so it will improve the health and safety for the customers. And of course, a happy customer will be satisfied with the results, with the quality of the food. And then, since ISO 22000 requires an FSMS, which then forces you to follow regulatory requirements as well as any other standard and guidelines that is required in your part of the food chain. Another benefit is enhanced transparency. Okay, so again, having established that process gives you the traceability of all the products, and this will achieve greater transparency regarding your operation. Another advantage is improved response to risks, and obviously there's always risks that occur, and this will help you deal with risks which in the food business could potentially have contamination, and as the important part is to catch that as early as possible so to prevent that spread. And again, whatever investigation needs to get done, you will have a process in place to deal with that as quickly as possible. So next slide, please. All right, so what are the challenges of dealing with a food safety management system? Well, obviously, there's a lot of paperwork, which typically is not centralized, and it could be within different organizations or different sites. And it's really a very big effort or a tedious manual work to collect and maintain all of this documentation. Now, also, with any kind of a business, and again, this applies to, I guess, any ISO quality system, is you have to make sure that the procedures and processes that are in place, that they are properly followed and implemented. Another aspect is to collect data for analysis and to improve your processes. So again, your decisions for improvement should be based on actual data and not just guessing. Now, if there's no there's a lack of central repository for documentation and corrective action and so on, that makes it, again, a very difficult process of getting quick access to all that information. And also, once you have to resolve some corrective actions, you need to have a plan and make sure that everybody who is responsible to resolve a potential discrepancy, that they have a plan to follow, and that management can verify that the plan is indeed on track. So another part which is very critical is how do you collect and maintain all of the required data to support your certification audits. And once you become certified to any ISO standard, you have to have surveillance audits yearly, so that, again, all the data has to be maintained and readily available for the auditor. So that is the end of my presentation, and I guess now we'll turn over to, I guess, Sam, who will give you more details on the QDMS tool. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'd like to just introduce our digital transformational quality management approach as Bimser International, and then I'll invite Sam, and just like Alex mentioned, Sam will show us how actually one can comply with ISO 22000 digitally by using QDMS. Alex, much appreciated for your insights as always. Thank you so much. So as Alex mentioned, there are challenges for quality management systems. It is same for ISO 22000, and as we know, there are different quality management systems in the marketplace. Depends on the vertical industry. So today we'll be, of course, focusing on food industry, and that is important for us to understand the challenges so that we can, once we define them, we can actually address them and find solutions for it. So when we look at food industry, for example, ISO 22000 is an important quality management system, important safety management system in food industry. There are other standards that sometimes food companies, food and beverage companies need to comply. AcuQuality is one of them that we addressed a couple of weeks ago, if you remember. DRC is another of them that we'll be addressing also in coming weeks. If you remember, we also address GN good manufacturing practices for some food beverage companies and other industries as well. So there are many different standards that a company needs to comply with. So why do we comply? Basically, we comply it's because our customers require us to comply. They are asking us to have a quality management system in place, safety management system in place, and sometimes because of the regulations, federal, state, or local regulations, basically, it's a mandatory for us because of that requirement, federal, state, or local. We have to comply with certain safety and quality management systems sometimes. Our competitors also comply with certain quality management systems, and we don't want to fall behind that. Another thing. And we like to also have the culture of continuous improvement in our organization to ensure that we have safe, secure work environment in food industry, and we basically guarantee the quality and safety of our products for our customers. These are very important things. So just like Alex mentioned, there are challenges to comply with these standards, and just like Alex mentioned, for instance, documentation is one challenge. Corrective action management, which has requirements of back and forth, is another challenge. Finding a supervisory is another challenge to manage the policies, SOPs, or SSOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. That is a challenge. So keeping all these challenges and our requirements as companies in mind, we basically put together this framework called proactive management framework for digital transformation of quality management. So based on this framework of ours that we put together as Bimser International, there are three parts that you need to keep in mind. The first part is assurance, right? So that's our quality management system in place. In this particular case, we are talking about ISO 22000. That is basically the system that we follow with documentation, policies, procedures, SSOPs, SOPs, as well as customer complaint management audits. So that is basically the blueprint of our system that we are following. And there is a control piece called control. Typically, what we have seen in the marketplace is quality assurance dictates quality control, how it is supposed to be, and where it is supposed to be. They may want to have quality control points during manufacturing, before manufacturing, after manufacturing, when we receive a raw material. And another important thing that I like to mention is all these quality management systems are not only about manufacturing, by the way. So typically, ISO standards touches every part of the company except accounting and finance. So you may want to have quality control points in your administrative operations, maybe sales, maybe marketing, maybe purchasing, for example. So these are all the things that we need to put into consideration when we actually design our quality assurance system. And third part is the predict. So with the quality prediction system, we can actually utilize smart sensors, for example, to remotely monitor the temperature, humidity of your work environment, especially if you are dealing with food and beverage. These temperature requirements and this monitoring is even more important than in other industries. So utilizing the smart sensors, IoT devices actually not only makes your life easy, also helps you comply with various quality management systems, especially ISO 22000, BRC or SQF, easier. And you can basically ensure that you have a safe and secure work environment when you're manufacturing or processing food. So in this, based on this framework that we put together, proactive quality management and business management framework, we have a product called QDMS, Quality Risk Audit and Compliance Management software of ours. We are very experienced in quality management digitally, as I mentioned earlier. It's because we have more than 1,000 corporate customers, thanks to QDMS, and we have more than 1 million professional users of QDMS. So this experience basically help us learn from companies, their challenges, and how they can actually address their problems in terms of quality management, compliance, and so on. So for us, quality management system is a way for us to help organizations comply with quality management systems digitally without paper. And that just basically makes quality managers' jobs easy in a digital environment. And also let's remember that QDMS, our quality management system, is Acumatica ERP system certified. So that's already integrated with the ERP system Acumatica and is already operational. Since QDMS is a very modern technology, it has capabilities to connect with other software systems in an organization. There may be IoT devices that QDMS can integrate and pull data of, let's say, temperature, vibration, and other information that you are capturing with your IoT devices with your smart sensors. QDMS can connect with your manufacturing execution system or your CRM system, for example. And as I mentioned earlier, QDMS is already integrated with Acumatica ERP system. It is already certified by Acumatica to pull and push any data that's available in your ERP system or QDMS to communicate with Acumatica that's already available. So the idea is to provide customers, companies, corporate customers to have an integrated management system so that there will be no double entry needed. Once you enter a data in this QDMS, that can also be available Acumatica. It can be both ways, basically. And you basically gain the control of your operations in one central system. And that's how you can actually have the continuous improvement in place. And you can make sure you are working in a paperless, safe, and secure work environment. QDMS is ready for you to comply with many quality management systems. ISO 22000 is one of them. And there is also, we see it many times, some of our customers comply with more than one quality management system. So when you are complying with ISO 22000, you may also be complying with ISO 14000, for example, as an example for environment safety management. So that is also possible. You can comply with more than one quality management system in QDMS. QDMS has a user-friendly environment. So once we basically train the quality management team properly, quality management team becomes the admin team, administration team of QDMS, and they take care of the quality management system on QDMS digitally. So there is no outside consultants or support needed on day-to-day basis. Basically, once we provide the training, quality management team takes care of QDMS management in the company. Since QDMS is web-based, you can access QDMS from anywhere, as long as you have internet access available from any internet browser. You can access QDMS anytime and anywhere. And it has a permission-based environment, meaning you basically set the goals and you also set the permissions of every single user based on the goal. So certain users can access certain parts of the system and others may not use it. And certain groups can get reports, for example, and may not generate content. So all these details can be managed in the system. That is very important for you. Also, I need to mention that QDMS is a modular structure, meaning you can pick and choose any module you like. The reason being, you may be complying with different systems, and also that is important to know that these systems basically reflect on QDMS, and you can pick and choose any module you like. So let's say you like to address your document management challenges that you have, and you need to digitize it. You need to manage your policies, procedures, standard operating procedures, for example. Then control document management module is ideal for you. Or let's say you like to address risk management, just like Alex mentioned earlier. Risk management is very important for ISO, especially ISO 22000, and that's mandatory, by the way. So if you like to address your risk management situation at this very moment with your team members, you like to address your risk, and you like to also group it, and also you like to analyze it, and you like to document it, and you like to make it available for your team members. You may want to get, for example, food and safety risk management module, or let's say process risk management module. So these are all basic optional available for you. So at the end of the day, as Bimser International, we like to help companies comply with many different quality management systems digitally. That's our goal. And keeping this in mind, basically we offer these tools available in Acumatica ecosystem, and you can decide which module you like to have. There is no minimum. You can start with a couple modules if you like. You can add later on anytime you like, and you can comply with the quality management system of yours in a digital environment. In this particular case, it is very important to have a quality management system management digitally for ISO 22000, since food is very, very sensitive. It is very important in terms of safety and health concerns. So QDMS is ready to be your best friend, basically, when you are complying with ISO 22000. All right, great. So if Sam is ready, I'd like to invite him to our virtual stage. Our colleague Sam will be showing you how you can actually manage your quality management system digitally. And we'll show you some of the modules that we have available. One of them is corrective action module, for example. And we'll be showing you how you can manage your corrective actions in a digital environment. Also, he'll be also showing you some other modules of QDMS, just to give you an idea of the capabilities of the system. And we keep our contact information on the screen. If you'd like to have one-to-one meeting with us, a demo session perhaps, you can access, you can easily contact us. You can send us an email, you can give us a call, and we'll be happy to schedule time, a one-to-one meeting with you. Sam, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So please take over the screen when you're ready.
Okay. And can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen. Or I see that you also set it up with the Acumatica screen.
Yes.
That's perfect. So there is something new, just like Sam is showing us right now. QDMS and all of our products, being EBA, they are all available right now in Acumatica screens to make it easy for you to use all of our software products interacting with Acumatica. So that's a great way to use these systems together in one screen. You don't have to jump from one screen to another. In one screen, you can access your data for quality management. And if you still need to access data from Acumatica, you can just click from the menu. Sam, why don't you tell us what you're going to show us today?
Sure. So today I will show you QDMS, our quality risk audit and compliance management system, which working on the same page of Acumatica. As Kevin mentioned, you can or you can manage your data in Acumatica and also manage QDMS on the same page, which means you don't have to switch between the tabs of your web browser, and instead they will work on the same tab of your web browser. And thank you, Alex, for introducing ISO 22000. And this is a very important standard that for the food industry and also the beverage industry. And you can, and now I want to show you is how QDMS helps you to comply with ISO 22000. And after you log into QDMS, you will find all the pending tasks and requests for approval right on your home screen. is make sure, or our system makes sure, you will not miss any important task in on your operations for complying with ISO 22000. For example, like we have a corrective action, which I will cover today. You will see which corrective action that you have to perform, or which corrective action record is going to be closed. And you can find all of those here right after you log into QDMS. And QDMS is a permission-based system, which means not everyone can see everything in QDMS. Your permission will be based on the your position, profession, department, or group. So since now I'm logging in as the admin, which you can tell from the username on the top right, and I have a full control of the system, and I have a full menu, or full control of the menu. So now, today I will cover more on the corrective action module and some of the module that we have here. For example, like the audit module and also the calibration module, which allows you to, or which helps you to comply with the ISO 22000. So now let us get to the corrective action module. In this module, you can record all your non-conformity in this module. And they're in different status like open, follow-up, result, or revealed. It depends on the progress that you're handling the non-conformity that you record in QDMS. And I'm going to pull up one of the records that we have in the system. When you're creating a new corrective action record, so you will see you will be able to enter a new record as entering the non-conformity and also the non-conformity detail, customer name if needed, and by the way, the customer name, it is integrated with Acumatica, and we also integrate the employee information, the stock item information with Acumatica on our demo environment. And QDMS is flexible and capable to integrate with any fields that you can see in Acumatica. So coming back to QDMS, you can record the non-conformity detail, and also the category. And after filing a new corrective action, you can assign this record to a solution team, and you can assign this to a team leader, and also invite any team member if necessary. Like right here, we invite Joshua and also Anna as the team member to this solution team. You're more than welcome to attach any document, for example, like and you can see the tapes on the top, like the root cause analyze, and having the corrective action and the follow-up action, which I will show you in a report form. As I mentioned, QDMS is a permission-based system. So this is why you can see the tapes on the top, they are gray. But right here, we can show those information in a report like the root cause analyze. For example, regarding this non-conformity, we find out the root cause is lack of training and also the resource request procedures and also lack of the QC during or after the production. And in order to cope with this root cause, we create certain corrective actions right here. And we can enter the action detail, which I'm going to zoom in and get you a better visibility, like the detail of our action, and also attach any document that we are that can be a reference for the solution team. And also, once this action is performed, the responsible person has to update the status in QDMS and make the status as closed. After that, we can decide if we need any follow-up action. For example, we don't want to have this non-conformity happen again in this coming 3 months, for example, so that we can set up a follow-up action here. And the responsible person has to make sure this non-conformity will not happen in our company for the coming 3 months and update the status in the system. After the follow-up action, then we can close the corrective action. So it's simply how corrective action is working in QDMS. And keep in mind, those are the operations or the flow in corrective actions might not be the best fit to your company, but keep in mind is QDMS is capable to configure the workflow for corrective action module as known as CAPA. So we can listen to you and update the workflow in corrective action modules, or we can add, update, or delete any fields that you want to have in this module. And it will be then it can be the best fit for your company to manage your non-conformity and corrective action with using QDMS. And in QDMS, there's another module, is the audit module, which allows you to be ready to have your audit operations in your company for complying with ISO 22000. So with the help of the audit module, you can create your audit planning considering like this is the goal that you want to achieve. For example, like you want to audit to have an internal audit. So you have to audit all the departments that you have in your company. Moreover, you can use this module to audit your vendor, supplier, or subcontractor, and to evaluate their performance for example, like providing the raw material and also for shipping. So now I'm going into the audit module. So these are all the audit plannings that I have in this module. So for example, I have the internal audit plan. And as I mentioned, those are the goals that we want to achieve. And then we can create the audit item. So considering like internal audit, what does this mean? So we have to audit all the departments that we have. And in order to achieve this goal, like audit planning internally. And now QDMS will take us to the audit item page, which you will see all the audit item that we create for different departments. And for creating the audit item for different departments, so that we can pick and choose the date, the time, the training, the auditee and auditor, which will be and which you will see on this page. Yes, there we go. And we can see date that we can pick and choose the start date and the finish date, and pick and choose the audit time and also the audit subject. In addition, you can pick and choose the auditor who will be the auditor or the lead of this audit. And we can also invite the auditee, the person who will be audited in this audit item. Another very helpful features in QDMS is we can pick and choose the question that will be asked by the auditor to the auditee. Considering like we have always for the audit, we have to prepare 5 pages audit question for the auditee, for every single auditee. So like what if we have 20 auditee, then we have 100 pages. We have prepared 100 pages of paper for the audit. If it's happened every year, so it's like after 5 years, we have 500 pages. And paper is not free. To pay for the paper, ink, and also for the storage of the paper. So with using QDMS, will help you to have your audit operations paperless and on a digital environment. And right here, using this audit module, we can pick and choose the question that we have in the system and make it as a reference for the auditor. And the auditor can enter the answer that he or she has from the auditee and record the answers in QDMS so that you don't have to prepare like 5 pages paper, and instead those questions will be recorded in QDMS digitally. And in every module, there is a reporting tool which allows you to create the ready-made report and also have your graphical report. For example, in this module, we want to see which are how many times or how many audit that we have based on the department in QDMS, so that we can draw our graph and set up the time frame. For example, we want to see the past 3 years and see how many times that we have the audit for the departments in our company. And your data will be shown in a bar chart and also in a table. And anytime, you are more than welcome to export as Excel, PDF, or in any responsible parties. And in order to make sure your machinery or equipment for the food or beverage, include this, you can see the calibration module as known as the device management module. In this module, you can define your device, like your manufacturing machine in this module. So we can fulfill our the calibration. So to our device, align the reader or the meter, for example, or clean our machinery, having our preventive maintenance. For example, like every or once it's reached 150 degrees, then we carry the next calibration module, so that we can carry out our work order here, and we can pick and choose the operation types. For example, like a preventive maintenance, and which device is going to be a calibrate or having the preventive maintenance. After that, we can pick and choose the responsible person which I'm going to pick myself, and also the location. So considering like locations in your New York and one in data for operation is accurate. We can save this, and this can in QDMS. Another thing I want is QDMS has its own notification features. Or the responsible person will receive a notification right on his or screen. Is make sure you will not again miss any important task and request for approval in QDMS for complying with ISO 22000. It's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Sam. Much appreciated. Thank you for the demonstration. We come to our Q&A session, and we have some questions that we like to address. One of them is, for example, Alex, for you. For ISO 22000, how big the company is supposed to be? Is it okay for you need to have, let's say, 100 employees or more? Or you can also have less employees than you are supposed to. Is there any limit, minimum? Okay, looks like Alex has connection issues, so we continue. Alex, as soon as he's with us, we can hear from him.
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Okay, Alex, please continue.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. So.
No problem.
Yes.
So the question was, as for ISO 22000 compliance, is there any requirements as for a company size to be able to comply with ISO 22000?
No, not at all. I guess any organization can apply for certification as long as they meet the required criteria. It could be as small as a few people to as large as thousands of people. So size is certainly not a constraint at all.
Okay, that's definitely good to know. Thank you, Alex. Also, just like you mentioned, there are similarities between ISO 9001 and also ISO 22000. From my understanding, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, the 7 requirements, 7 quality management principles, actually, of ISO is also same for ISO 22000. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, the only really major difference between ISO 9001 and ISO 22000 really what is the focus on the product that you're maintaining. So specifically 22000 is for the food industry, and again for everybody that's in the food chain can apply for 22000.
Okay, that's definitely great insights. Thank you, Alex. Sam, can you tell us if there is any mobile app available for QDMS?
Sure. Yes, mobile application is available for QDMS. So you can download QDMS mobile on your Android or iOS device. You can download them from the Google Play Store or the App Store, and you can connect to the same server that you can see on your web browser, which means you can find data on your mobile application, which means you can connect to QDMS anytime, anywhere from your handheld device like tablet or smartphone with the internet connection.
Thank you, Sam. That's a great advantage to have the mobile device. It's especially nowadays we all have smart devices in our hands, and we basically use it on daily basis. That's a fact. Also, for quality control purposes, sometimes quality teams need to be on the production floor or shipping section of the company, for example. So they may not be at their desk. So utilizing The mobile application is a great advantage. It's very practical. Yes, if you don't have a mobile application, you can use the web browser on your cell phone. You can still connect to QDMS. That is also available. It just makes it easy for you to basically manage the QDMS system available for you. So you have these two options, either connecting QDMS via web browser or using the mobile device. So I have two questions, so it looks like I can address them. One of them is there a minimum module requirement to launch QDMS? So there is no minimum requirement. You can have one module or two modules or three modules. That's really up to you. You can start slow if you like, or if you like to have a set of modules, which typically that's what we see among our customers. They typically get a set of modules, but as I mentioned, there is no minimum requirement. So you can start with as many modules as you like. Another one is that I've been getting this question all the time is about the quality management systems available in a company. If you have a requirement to comply with more than one quality management system, yes, you can use QDMS, one QDMS for more than one quality management system requirement digitally. So that is perfectly fine. Also, another question that we have received is about the locations. If you have multiple locations, multiple plants, for example, and if you have different quality management systems for different locations, you can also manage that as well in QDMS. So that's perfectly fine. You can still comply with ISO 22000, BRC, HPF, Food and Beverage Industry, for example, in a digital environment. That's perfectly fine. Okay, looks like we addressed all the questions. Before we end this webinar session, I'd like to remind you that we have a YouTube channel. You can visit our YouTube channel, called Bimser International YouTube channel, and when you click playlist, you'll see the list of videos of our products as well as webinar recordings. So you can share those webinar recordings with your colleagues, and you can visit always and watch our previous webinar recordings. I mean, these are very important subjects that we talk about: good manufacturing practices, ISO 9001 compliance, ISO 13485 compliance, and others as you see on the screen. And today's webinar will be also available on our YouTube channel in playlist. And you can visit Eventbrite page of ours, and you can see which webinars are coming up. And you can register online. As soon as you register, you'll have a list of, you have a link of the webinars that you can connect to. And you can basically have the updates as to how you can manage your quality management system digitally, as well as on QDMS and Acumatica. While QDMS is ready to work with Acumatica, as we demonstrated in one screen, if you like to use QDMS as a standalone software, that's also available. That is up to you. QDMS can work standalone as well as Acumatica ERP system and other ERP systems as well. So you have a lot of options if you like to comply with quality management systems digitally by using QDMS. I'd like to thank our panelists. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your insights. That was very helpful. Alex, Sam, Furkan, thank you so much. And I'm sure all of our attendees, our audience, learn a lot from the insights that you shared. And we are looking forward to having you in our coming webinar sessions as our panelists, expert panelists. I'd like to thank our attendees for joining our webinar today. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned some new subjects and details about compliance and quality management in a digital environment. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. You see our email addresses on the screen, and in previous screens we also show our phone number if you like to connect us via phone. If you like to schedule a one-to-one meeting to talk in detail, to more in detail of QDMS as well as quality management system compliance digitally, we can schedule it. And if you have any questions about ISO 22000, we also have Alex's contact information on the screen, so you can contact him and continue this conversation. I'd like to thank you again for your time, and looking forward to seeing you in our coming webinar sessions. Thank you, and have a nice day.